Hello, everybody. I am back. I didn't know if Isabel was going to be able to get back on with day 24 or not. So I waited a bit. And Grace, I owe you an apology. I did not realize that I had streamed right over the top of you. So I apologize for that, and with my little impromptu going on here. And hi, everybody. And feel free to say anything. Um, I can see that there are 5 people, but I don't see any comments. So hopefully it is coming up. Oh, hi, Susie. Hi, Joey. I was I wanted to give it a little bit to see if Isabel would come back, but I'm guessing that she might have had some technical difficulties. blah, 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 blah. Well, hi, Be Bright. How are you? Hi, Ollie. Oh, yay! I'm glad that yeah, I am. As you know, I'm all kind of new to live streaming, so I've been doing these a little impromptu, trying to look for little holes in the schedule where I can find them and not stream over other people and do all of that until I find a spot that fits comfy for all of you and for me and for everything else. And plus, you just, I mean, it's just, I love the ease of live streaming, but it still makes me really nervous. So, so thank you all for being here. This is what we were working on, and in the event that any of you who are here now were not here earlier when we lost the stream, I did want to say that Annie is home from the hospital. Her husband was able to bring her home today, and she's still pretty weak, but she is reading all the comments. And I know that a couple of other people have actually been able to catch up with her just a little bit. So, so all those prayers that went out for her, and all the comments that she's reading, and all the love that poured out for her in the community really is showing. And so I think that's so wonderful to everybody. And so at any rate, so we will continue on with this, and and hopefully folks will come in. Hi, everybody that's coming in. And I see now we have 9, 10. But don't be afraid to say hello, lurkers. You're perfectly welcome to lurk, of course. But hi, Ashley, and hi, Starbucks, and thank you. I'm glad to be back. It actually gave me a much needed chance to go blow my nose and get a cup of coffee and um, have a cigarette and just sort of chill for a second. I had no idea that that first part was an hour and 20 minutes. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Just got home from work, lying down and listening. Okay, well, you just lie down and lurk. That's perfectly fine. And and we'll just color and chat and do whatever. I'm just sort of trying to fill the holes because Sammy didn't come on, and where we all gather on our Saturdays. And this is where I was. Hang on, I'll zoom you back down. And if I can find my camera controls, see if we're still in focus. Kinda. See if I can make it better or worse. Ooh, I think that's it. That's the sweet spot, guys. I think I found it. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, and if I'm looking over here, I've got my computer is sitting back here, almost behind me. So that's one of the reasons why I can't see chat. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it up there where I could just look up and see it. But my desk, the way that my camera is set up on my desk, I'll have to clear out the other workstation and start using it in order to have the computer where I want it in relation to where I'm actually coloring. So I'm just going over these spots. This is Inktense. I've done this whole piece with Inktense, and then I'm just doing a little bit of shading with some Prismacolor pencils, and then gel pen over the top. So teaching since this morning. Okay. Wow. I didn't wait. Teaching on a Saturday? Catherine, what are you teaching? Or who are you teaching? Is it kids, or tell me that kids don't have to go to school on Saturday before Christmas? Or that you teach something fun like yoga or how to stay sane. Things like that. The Suzuki Method violin. Oh, wow. Do you know that I have always wanted to learn to play the violin. I have one. I bought it at an auction. I don't know if it's a good violin or a bad violin. I know it's a broken violin, but I haven't been able to find a luthier to have a look at it to tell me if it would cost a lot to fix or if it would be worthwhile trying to fix it. I mean, it's a beautiful instrument, so my hope is that it can be fixed. I need a how to stay home sane. Well, I can tell you how to remain sane and stay home all the time. I can even tell you how to remain sane without seeing people, outside people, for a year at a time. But you got to have an internet connection. Yeah, because that's how you do it. I'm sure that for the first couple of years, my neighbors are absolutely convinced that I am, in fact, a vampire. Because they never see me out during the day. The only time I ever go out to the grocery store or stuff like that is after dark, and I never go out. So it's not that I can't go out or I'm afraid to go out or anything like that. I just don't have any reason to. Yeah, Catherine, color tube and my cats. Well, I only have one cat, so I fell asleep on one. Um, I that's like I can sit and listen to Anne, just chat and talk, and I'll be working and coloring and doing stuff like that. And I can. It's the same thing with Deb. I could listen to that Yorkshire accent for the rest of my life. Um, we all love Deb. And everybody, his birthday is tomorrow. So if you're on Facebook, send him happy birthday wishes. Let him know we're thinking of him. Oh, you're from Yorkshire. Oh, good, Be Bright. So you know, it is a unique accent. It's a unique accent, and it's very cool. It's very see now, uh, and this is something that Americans aren't really super sensitive to, but we realize that for you guys it isn't an accent. You all sound like like none of you has an accent because it's how everybody speaks, but for Americans, I one of the escrow officers that there's a story I could tell you. I could tell you a great story. Um, Anybody want to hear a story? This is a romantic story, and it actually is true. Although it could easily be, the plot for any one of a number of movies or I mean it's not an original story, but it is a true to life story. Um, one of the I used to live in Reno, Nevada, and in Reno there was an MGM Grand Hotel, and that MGM hosted a show called Hello Hollywood Hello for a large number of years, and um, they hired dancers from all over the world. One of the dancers they hired, her name was Janine. Um, when the show closed, she would have lost her United States work visa, and she was from somewhere in the UK. I don't know exactly what town she was from, um, but she had one of those sort of what we would call the posh British accent, what Americans call that. So whatever part of the country that one sort of comes from, um, and so one of the people who was I'm trying to think of what he did. He did something for the company, for the MGM company, but he offered to marry her so that she could stay in the United States. And it was going to be one of those, in name only kind of marriages. And if you're going to do something like that, Reno is a great place to do it because it is the divorce it's sort of the divorce capital of the United States because a divorce is really easy to get there. All you have to do is be a resident of the state for 6 weeks, and you can get a divorce, an uncontested divorce there. And that reminds me of another story that I can tell you, but we're on this story now. So they go ahead and get married. And, of course, the INS people are pretty strict about stuff like that. And so they do have to live under the same roof. And, I know what it was. They were roommates. When Janine came to live in this country, um, of course, it's very expensive, and so he was one of the roommates. That's how they knew each other. Okay, so they lived under the same roof anyway, and so that was one of the reasons why it was so. But other than this arrangement, they really didn't think that they had very much in common. Well, of course, you know what happened. They actually fell in love and ended up getting remarried in a second ceremony, only this time they meant it. And and they are still married to this day, and that was 30 years ago. That was 30 years ago. They are still married, and but I just think that is such a what I love about that story is that it actually happened. Actually, true story actually happened. But I used to tell Janine that if we could bottle that accent, here in the United States that we could make a killing because all the people loved to go to Janine, all the real estate agents loved to go to Janine because of that accent. I mean, she was an excellent escrow officer, but but people just loved to hear her talk. Absolutely loved to hear her talk. Okay, so there's the second story that I was going to tell. In Nevada, in Reno, just above Reno, in a place, it's the mountain range that is just to the south of a place called Pyramid Lake. And it was for years a working ranch. It sits at a high elevation. It was called the Monte Cristo Ranch. And what it was famous for is that it was where the movie stars used to come to wait out their 6 weeks of residency in order to get a divorce. And so it was all kitted out with with a beautiful ranch house and lots of amenities, and it had a swimming pool and lots of security and all of that. And so these movie stars used to come up there and wait it all out. Well, eventually, the movie stars stopped coming, and the ranch stopped being worked. And it was eventually the owner of it died, and his heirs decided to break it up into parcels and sell off all the parcels. And when was it? In 1991? Yeah, 1991. I bought a 100-acre parcel there. I still own it. Now, I can tell you that it is not worth any money. It is 100 acres, but it is totally useless because you cannot, I can't subdivide it without owning water rights, and I can't buy water rights for any kind of a reasonable price. So until a big developer comes along who already owns water rights that he can move to a piece of land, it's just going to sit there because you have to have big bucks to be able to put a road into it because it's the grade. There's no there's no way to engineer a road into the ranch that has what's called a less than a 14-degree incline. So right now, the only way into the ranch is by four-wheel drive. You have to have a four-wheel drive and a whole lot of guts to get up there. And I've only ever been up there once, which was when I went up to look at this land. But it is a gorgeous parcel of land. It has a view for 100 miles. But at that, it's basically the side of a mountain. So, but this ranch but the old ranch house is still there. Now, obviously, it has been vandalized and the swimming pool is full of dirt now and weeds and all of that. But it's easy to see. It's like visiting a ghost town. But someday, a big developer may come along and decide that it would be a worthwhile project to build a house there, or to build a community there. It's beautiful view property, and but it sits just a little too far out of town. Town hasn't grown that big yet, but one day it will. One day the town will reach it, and that was that's something that I had a customer a regular customer who brought me all her escrows, real estate agent, and She used to say that her grandfather, the best advice that he ever gave her was buy land on the outskirts of town because it's cheap and the town will eventually get there. And that has proven to be very true. And so that is why I was actually able to buy that land, because I had an investor who thought it would be a good idea. Of course, we didn't count on it taking quite this long, but because it's been let's see, 1990, 2020, yeah, it'll be 30 years. It'll be 30 years in 2020 that I've owned that land and paid taxes on it. But it's got sort of sentimental value because it's a piece of the Monte Cristo Ranch. I actually own a piece of the Monte Cristo Ranch. Oh, and that brings up another. When I first moved to Nevada, there were two things that totally shocked me, and I was from LA, so I'm pretty hard to shock, or from basically in and around the Southern California, Los Angeles area of the United States, and but there are actually slot machines in the convenience stores and in the grocery stores. But the thing that really threw me is that there are brothels, legal brothels in Nevada. And they have to stay outside outside of the city limits. And they have to be in, areas where they're allowed, but they're legal. And probably the most famous brothel in the United States is a place called the Mustang Ranch. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. Anyway, the freeway exit to the Mustang Ranches was on my way to work every morning. And so I used to have to, I would laugh as you would see these cars, going off at 9 o'clock in the morning. Be Bright, yes, they have done Joe Conforti was the owner, Joe and Sally Conforti. And it's just amazing to me. Of course, they do say that is the oldest profession in the world, but nonetheless, it was very disconcerting for me to to see that, and the place is really, although I've certainly never been there, it's it certainly looks ordinary. It looks like an ordinary ranch house. Whose parking lot is full all the time at any and every hour of the day. But when you live in Reno or any gambling mecca, I'm sure that anybody who has lived or is from Las Vegas will tell you this. The residents are not the ones who gamble. The people who actually live there rarely go to the casinos, rarely put coins in a slot machine, because we know that the odds are stacked in favor of the house. And here is the key to Las Vegas. If you win, walk away. If you lose, walk away. Do not chase a loss with more money, and do not try and increase a win by continuing to play. Just take your money and go. Or leave your money and go, as the case may be. Because I can tell you that Nevada has no income tax, no personal income tax. And that's why. Because too many people, or so many people, try to chase their losses, and the casinos have to pay big taxes to the state. Big, big taxes. So that's how come Nevada does not have any personal income tax, any personal state income tax. Okay, now I can pay attention to the chat. Hi, Nick and Tina. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Hi, May. Thank you for being here. Gosh, it's okay. I've got 10:11 in England, which means it's 11:11 where you are, yeah? PM. I try and remember. There's a 5-hour difference between here and did you guys just hear that furnace kick on? That was another thing that I wanted to find out, is how that furnace sounds now that I'm doing lives instead of everyone I've ever known saying that they won. They do make a lot of money, Joey. 10:12. Hi, Elizabeth. Nick and Tina Colors. Yes, you did hear the furnace kick on. Okay. Is it okay? But it's not like super loud like it was in my previous videos. I hope. I hope that because I tried to set up my microphone so that it's got noise cancellation for things that are further away than I am. And at any rate, well, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, there's also a place just out of Las Vegas called the Bunny Ranch. And let's see what and the 7-Eleven and the grocery stores having slot machines. That was so weird. Really, really weird. But I know what I was going to say. The people who live there really primarily, the only time they ever set foot, of course, most of the people who live in Las Vegas are in the service industry in some way. They either work for the hotels, the restaurants, there is big industry there, but it's more in Henderson and places outside of Las Vegas. Oh, good, Ollie. All right, so some folks can hear it, some don't. Some probably are used to it. Okay, that's good. That is really good. And like I said, I had totally screwed up that last live stream with, or not this one, but the one before it, by forgetting to switch to the microphone on the camera. So the sound on the playback was really muffled, and I had messed up my lighting, and just the quality of the video was terrible. And I always watch my videos um, for playback, because one of the things that I want to make sure of is that I am delivering you guys a good product to watch, especially if you are watching after the fact. So I'm counting on the idea that if I'm ever fuzzy and stuff like that, that you guys will let me know, because those are things I can fix. Unless it's just a bandwidth problem. Sometimes when our streams go fuzzy, it's because the, the bandwidth is there's too much of it being used in the same area, the same geographical area, and that makes everybody's streams worse. Working on the theory that everybody gets the same access to the bandwidth, which of course here in the United States is no longer guaranteed. Ooh, how do you like them, Elizabeth? How do you like those Amazon Basics? I saw a couple of people reviewing those, and they say they're pretty good. Really good budget-friendly pencil. And at what they cost, I mean, my goodness. I think they're down to $14 right now for 72 because they've gotten so popular. They're quite a bit more than that when they're not on sale. If this is boring for you guys, just let me know. There are 17 of you. You know, it's impossible to hurt my feelings by reporting bad quality or bad, you know, if you because I care, like I say, I care about the product that I'm delivering. If it's not good, if I'm not doing something that you would like to see me doing, please speak up. Y'all ought to know by now I can take it. I may have a soft, mushy center when it comes to everybody's safety, but when it comes to my job, I'm a professional who likes to deliver a good product. Oh, speaking of which, I was just a basket case last night with those videos. Just a basket case. Or with those podcasts, sorry. That was such a sweet thing for Isabel to have done, to have put that together, the podcast with the Christmas messages. And so that touched my heart. And then hearing her interview with Alex touched my heart. And of course, you know, I think that's exactly where we got frozen in the last stream. I was talking about having, you know, sort of how I came in just at the point where we lost Katrine, and how sad that was and still is. So it's just, oh, goodness. But I don't know about you guys. Sometimes it's just good to sit and cry. It's very cleansing, you know, very cleansing. And it makes room to be able to celebrate all the good things, all the good memories, the fact that we have all those videos to watch and will for a long time. When he said he gave her polychromos and her dag drummer to take with her, I just completely lost it. Okay. I am going to add some stars to the sky, but I'm not sure if I want to add them with that silver brush pen or silver like I did the moon, or if I want to add them with white. What do you guys think? Oh, May, when he described how he was going to propose, uh, I just, was just a little bit more than I could take right at that particular moment. But I'm so glad that I finally listened to it. I knew it was there. I hadn't been able to listen to it. But, I felt like I kind of owed it to, to, to them because I was nobody. And, other than just a fan and admirer, I'd never even spoken to her. But to have somebody so young and so vibrant just snapped out of existence just like that. But then again, has she been? The videos are still there for us. The memory is still there for us. All the people who loved her are still here. And, you know, every place I have seen her name mentioned, it's just simply, love everywhere. Guess there probably wouldn't be too many stars that close to the moon that you could see. Do some little tiny ones for some very far away stars. Don't have to add very many. I kind of like to add my embellishments as I go. So there's some little silver stars. Oops. If I can get this actually where you guys can see it. Some little gold embellishments. Um, yeah, Joey, I know that May has a link, and May, anytime you can put you can put links into anything you need to. Uh, but it's really both the Christmas one with all of the messages, and Sammy's message is so cute, guys, and May's, and all of the. I mean, it's just amazing to me once again how big and how diverse the coloring community is, and really bringing people together from all over the world. Uh, and I just think that's fantastic. And we've lost other people. I mean, on Facebook, we lost Jody last during the flu epidemic. Uh, I don't know if that was this year or it might have been late last year. And several others I know this year. Oh, you were to meet her 2 years ago when you were in Denmark. Oh. because the one day I had time, she was going to her grandparents. Well, you know, we I've said this before. I was delighted to hear that Alexander has no plans of taking down the always coloring channel. Uh, so those videos are there, and there are lots of them. Those videos are there, and that is how I knew her. I mean, I certainly, like I say, I never talked to her. I didn't belong to her Facebook group. The only real contact I had with her was through those videos, and I just loved her so much. And maybe it was just the shock of having one of our own taken away like that. Uh, that made it seem so. It's just so. 23 years old. 23. Just treasure the times that we have. Oh, I'm liking that. Ooh, look at how cool that sky looks. Does it look cool for you guys too? I mean, it looks great on the screen from here. So, well, our May just gets along with everybody. I mean, it's, and I, May, your Christmas video this morning just made me smile. What a great way to wake up and, and get started on my day. And I love, like I say, I love that outfit. Do you have a costume store or something near you? Or are those just things you have laying around? Oh, good. I'm so glad. Okay. All right. Let's back out and see if we can get uh, a whole effect so far. And oops, oops. The one thing I've noticed is that during a live, you have a whole lot less room to work with. It's like the camera is closer than it would be otherwise. Okay, so now I'm thinking that I want to do the next row, and I was thinking of doing this middle row of them in this darker pink, and then save the lighter pink for the outside. Or alternatively, do them all green, because I think that with the embellishments that it would look kind of cool, but well, hi Beth, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. What do you guys think? We did chat up and sometimes we even had hello. Oh, so those are all a part of your okay, good. So your closets must be an interesting place to uh to uh to look through, May. That is so cool. Well, you never know, Joey. I mean, you have a closet only for your costumes. See, they are hers. I told you. I think that's funny. I think that's terrific. I can hardly wait until what's the next one coming up? Valentine's Day, or no? Are you gonna dress as Cupid? Or yeah, I think so too. Oh, good, Ollie. Okay, good. At least one person agrees with me. I like the darker pink and then the lighter too. We can give it a shot. You know what? If it doesn't work, what's the worst thing that can happen? We can just fix it. Let's try one and we'll find out. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what I did that with, and I think it was I think it was. Let's look at these beautiful pencils. Whoops. Well, yeah. Boy, there is something about weird reflections that these high-def cameras do not like. Okay. That is the light one. Deep violet is that one, but oh no. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that sound muted. I'm back. Hopefully the sound was muted okay. And you didn't hear me trying to choke to death? Okay, deep violet. I'm trying to find the right color. The problem is I don't remember. So we'll just pick one. I'm going to go with a dark purple. Actually, silly me. How about we look at the Squatch book? Okay, I used red violet on that last one. So that is 610. Why can't I find the red violet? Oh, well, now that explains why I can't find the red violet. Look at the color on the end of that pencil. Whoop. Let me get that out of there. Look at the color on it. Would you say that's a red violet? And when you look at it compared to, say, the fuchsia, would you say that this one is the red violet? You would not. So we're going to go with fuchsia. And we're going to see what happens. Oh, good. Okay, so you didn't hear a thing. Good. Well, in that case, then the mute button actually works. Where you can mute the sound. Like I say, I'm still just experimenting, guys, and learning how this stuff all works. And I can bring it into actual focus. Okay. Looks a little bit better. This one is getting pretty ragged. I think I might actually have to sharpen this. I use my fuchsia quite a bit. Oh, that causes physical pain. I love my inktints. Okay. If you don't want to reach for the swatch chart, swatch them out on paper and tape it to the end of the pencil. That is a really good idea. And I could, in fact, do that with this, with these. I could just run a second set of these and have it right there. That's a really good idea because I do spend an awful lot of time sorting through my inktints, trying to figure out what color is what. Okay, so where are we going to go? Let's go with a... Try to think. I don't want it to be orange, so I want to do a pink. Okay, let's get that red violet out. And I want to see if this is what oh, yeah, see. All right. We're going to stick with the red violet. Keep the colors the same. But I don't think I have a pink light enough to do what I want with the inside. So I'm going to do that with a pencil instead of the inktints. So how I used yellow on the inside here, I'm going to use the pink Prismacolor for the inside here. And see if that works. I'm inventing as I'm going along. It's your coloring book. You are the boss of it. Invent. Let's see what the color on this turns out like. I'm assuming that everybody is for those, well, I guess for those that don't have a set destination for Christmas Day, I am still planning on streaming at least part of the day, so that we can all hang out and at least for a little while. Okay, see, that'll work. That'll work. And then maybe let's try something here. We'll set this one up with pink. Let's go with pink in the here. And then we'll put gold on top of it when it's dry and see how that works. Like I did here with the teal green and the gold. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a major difference in color. And it's really disconcerting on the pencil itself. Well, that's the fuchsia. Now I'm going to get confused. That's the thistle. Okay. Yeah, we'll give it another shot here. My goodness. Okay. See, the further I get, I'm never going to get used to that. I'll tell you, that is just the wrong direction. Okay. I think if I have any more stories. I'm sure I've got a million. I just can't think of any right now. Oh, I could tell you about the bridge, the wedding ring bridge. Okay, so Reno being the divorce capital, there is a bridge, there's a river that runs through Reno. It's called the Truckee River, and it flows. What it is, it's a natural river, but it's added to substantially, or actually, I guess it's a natural river. It's the overflow of water out of Lake Tahoe, is what it is. And it flows all the way from Lake Tahoe through the town of Truckee, which is on the border of California and Nevada in the Sierra Mountain Range. And it flows past Reno and past Reno's cousin Sparks, because Reno is so close to hell that you can see Sparks. That's the joke in Reno. And past the Mustang Ranch and all the way out to where it empties into Pyramid Lake, which is a lake on the Indian reservation, on the Paiute Indian reservation. And in the actual city of Reno itself, there is a pedestrian bridge that goes over one side of the river to the other. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing the right one here. Okay. And it happens to be that it's right outside the courthouse, the pedestrian bridge. So over the years, it has become a tradition that when you get divorced, you go off, you walk down the courthouse steps, you go out to the bridge, and you throw your wedding rings in the river. And yeah. And of course, somebody will come along and fish all those wedding rings out and take them off to the pawn shop. So, but I think that's pretty funny. There are people that actually make their living, with metal detectors that's underwater metal detectors in Reno. I don't know, but at the price of gold right now, I'd be far more likely to sell the thing than I would to throw it in the river. But for some people, that seems like a good idea. What about all the ladies with diamonds? I mean, I'm not throwing diamonds in the river. The tradition I like is the one where they, in order to tell the world about your love, in Paris, you put a lock on the bridge, go get a padlock, and it's got your initials on it, and you chain it to the bridge. Reno's a fun place. There's a Virginia City is. I lived on a road that was um, just down the. I mean, it was the road that led from Reno to Virginia City, and which is one of the things. Like if you there's a TV show, I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Ollie. The pawn shop, pawn shop. Here I come. Exactly. Uh, the show Bonanza, of course, was set in a theoretical place, which is actually where I used to live. Uh, and the property that where my house was very much like the property that is featured in the show Bonanza. But they always say, they always show that it's so close to Virginia City, but it's really not that close. Not that close at all. It would take more than a day. Oh, and that was the thing that there's a show called CSI here, and they keep, in several episodes, they keep talking about, where they have to go up to Reno to visit the medical examiner for some reason or another. Pardon me. And I'm thinking to myself, and they it's daylight when they set out, and it's daylight when they get back. The only problem is that there's 9 hours of hard driving between Reno and and Las Vegas. It takes all day. It takes all day to drive to Reno. So make it look like it's awfully close together, but it's really not. Well, hi Donna. Nice to see you back. Yeah, I love CSI too. We have Ion TV. I have because I don't have cable, uh, and I don't want cable. I don't believe in paying for television. The television airwaves are supposed to be free. That's why I watch advertising. Um, and no, I don't care that you don't have to watch the ads on cable TV. All right. I only care that I'm not paying for television. Even if I could afford it, it's the principle of the thing. So, but I watch a lot of these weird channels because they all have digital. So we have one called H&I, and it is I get to watch like the marathons of Monk, 9 hours, because Monk went for so many years that and each day of the week they do a different show, a different binge watch of a show. So like on Fridays it's Monk, on another day it's a different show, but they're all good and they're all ones that I like. And then every weeknight during prime time they do back-to-back episodes of Star Trek Original, Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, and then Star Trek Enterprise, which was the last one with Scott Bakula. I didn't like that one very much, but yeah, I loved all the CSIs. I no, there was one that I didn't like. I didn't like CSI Miami, but that's only because I don't like that actor after that whole thing that happened with Hill Street Blues and him thinking he was such hot stuff. He was going to go off and TV was too good for him. He was going to go be a movie star. That ticked me off. I liked the character he played on that, but I didn't like the way he handled himself on that principle of the thing kind of thing. But so I get to watch that, and then of course Ion TV is I don't know. I hate to say that they get the shows that are for like they broadcast CSI all day long on Friday, and then they also broadcast Criminal Minds a lot of the other days, and then on the weekends they it's marathon of oh gosh, NCIS, which is another one that I absolutely love. And H and I also has episodes of JAG. That's one of the days it's episodes of JAG, which I used to love because I loved David James Elliott. I thought he was so cute. Oh, just so handsome, that one. NCIS is just, I love everything about it. I love the fact that it's a celebration of the military, but I also love the characters that these guys play, and Tony Donoso and of course Jethro and Abby. I love Abby. I even actually like the new Abby. The new actress that's playing the role that filled in after the actress that played Abby left, whose name I know but can't remember. Now you get comment channel too. I honestly don't know, Elizabeth. I have yes, Law and Order, be right. That's another one that that Ion TV streams broadcasts a couple of days a week. Is Law and Order. Excuse me. So it's Law and Order, CSI. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Law and Order, CSI, NCIS, Criminal Minds. Anyway, and it's kind of like back when I used to call it smart TV. Back before they dumbed down everything. There are some shows that are on these days that I just sort of shake my. I don't understand reality TV. I don't understand at all. The only reality TV that I watch is Dancing with the Stars. But otherwise, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. And I gotta say that The Bachelorette and The Bachelor actually make my skin crawl. They make me physically uncomfortable to watch those. I just hate to see people. First off, I think it is scripted, but to a certain extent, and it's certainly edited to not show everybody in their best light. And maybe that's what I don't like about it, is that I think that they edit it for sensationalism and stuff like that. But I just, I don't get. There's no amount of money in the world that would ever make me put my life out there like that. Oh, but I'm in love with him. Yes, sure you are. And yet people eat it up. I apologize if I offended anybody who absolutely loves either one of those shows. Now, I'll tell you the one that I would watch in a heartbeat if it wasn't for the fact that it's on a cable station that I don't get is RuPaul. You know, whatever the name of that show is. I just happen to think he's a delightful human being. My dear friend, actually, my best friend in the world knows him, and I just think he's a delightful person. I saw him on Jimmy Kimmel, or not Jimmy Kimmel, but Late Night with James Corden last night, and he or maybe not last night, but one night this week, and he was talking about how they can script the show as you know and produce it tightly. He said, but when you start adding queens into the mix, he said you never know what you're going to get. And I just thought that was hilarious. Of course, I have a very open mind when it comes to people and whatever it is that floats their boat. So it's not for me to judge. Okay. Wow, there's still 17 of you. I'm so thank you for sticking with me here. One of the things I did when I lost the stream is I cleared the caches in my computer. They had never been so high uh, as they were after an hour and 20 minutes of streaming, because I had not realized that I hadn't cleared the caches from when I started watching videos this morning. And I think that might have had something to do with losing the connection the way that I did. I didn't think it worked that way, but apparently it does. A certain part of it still goes through my own computer system. I haven't even stopped to see if we like the way that this looks. I think I do. I'll back out and we can see what it looks like together. From a distance. Ollie, I think it was the right choice to use this darker purple. Okay. Let's go here and oops. Say done, and now back out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking the way that looks. I am definitely liking the way that looks. I like the way that it goes with the purple too. You know, with that darker aubergine purple. You guys are definitely helping me out here and figuring out how to color and how to color this in particular. I think it's going to be really pretty. Now, hang on, I move my camera controls off. I never watched, but I don't consider the people to be real. Yeah, exactly. Like looking for love in a fishbowl, and like sharing. I don't want to share. I mean, I have no objection to looking for love. I just don't want to share, not with other people at the same time. Wait, I don't know why I like. I think that if I watched it, I would probably like that one, Ollie. I happen to. I never like it when women get catty with each other. I think that is probably the reason why I object to The Bachelorette, is because I don't like catty people in general. But if I could skip over the catty part, I think that being a model is a hard job. I mean, it is really hard. Not only are you expected to be perfect all the time, but but it's a tough way to make a living. You got to have a really thick skin, really thick skin. Top model shows being a model. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It is not glitter and glam. And you know how I know that for absolute certain? Because my best friend works in that industry as a stylist. And those girls, I mean, those girls are they work really really hard. It is not just put on makeup and clothes and look pretty. It is worry about your next job. It is worrying constantly every moment of every day over what you're putting in your mouth. uh you know yeah, it's a tough job. It is a really tough job. She gets to see a lot of tears, I can tell you that. People say cruel things. Yeah, girls can be really mean. but but on the other hand, we can be really mean to each other, and yet we turn around and have each other's backs. That is what's so bizarre about girls. I mean, for a lot of the time they are like that. Granted, a lot of the time they're not. They are catty. Uh, but I don't know. What do I know? I was never a model. I was certainly, I was tall and I could wear clothes fairly well, pretty clothes fairly well. But it would never have occurred to me to want to try and make a living that way. Let's see what we want to do. If we want to go pink, whoops, I don't know. We'll let that be the test case. I think it may look better with gold, but we'll just let that one be the test case. In the meantime, that other part is dry enough now to do the gold. So let's see how this red looks over the gold. We'll zoom back in. And once again, Christine, you cannot move that. You cannot move that with the computer. You have to physically move it. Here I am, right clicking and trying to move the thing on my computer screen. Okay, I think that's in focus. Please be in focus. Please, please, please. Does it look in focus? All right, let's try it. We'll try it and find out if it's in focus. Oh, yes. I think I like that. Let's go over this one. Actually, this isn't dry enough yet. Okay. Let's try one of these with gold. That way we can judge the difference. We'll look at that. Oh, I'm liking the gold. Okay, gold it is. That's the other thing. When you find something you like, don't hesitate. Don't overthink it. Just go for it. Because you can always do it again sometime later and do it a different way. So now that we know that we like that, we'll add a few of these in so they can get to drying. That does not look in focus to me. Hang on a second. That looks a little better. All right. True romance authors, also another strong woman support group. Oh yeah, positive for one another and help for that community. Ollie, is that what you do? Do you write? Oh, sorry guys, that was my stomach. Hopefully you didn't hear that. It's trying to tell me something. It says I'm hungry. You have not fed me all day. Which is a shame because I actually have a refrigerator full of food. And even though I treated myself to the three things that I treated myself to were more than one light bulb, new slippers, and steaks for dinner. So, actually, two steaks. See, I make one. I make two, and then I eat one, and then I slice the other one up for sandwiches the next day. Figure I might as well do these now so that they can get to drying. Yeah, yes, actually, May, it is true. But it's more a result of bad planning on my part. Here is what happened. I thought I was all set up for retirement. A couple things happened in the economy, which, definitely hit me hard. And I also decided that I wanted to be out of debt. I did not want any debt at all. So I used a goodly portion of my retirement money and paid off all my debt. Paid off my house, paid off my car, did all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I did those things in the wrong order. Because it was right after that. Hang on. Sorry about that. It was right after that that we had a serious downturn in the market, and a lot of us lost money. So I found myself in the unenviable position of actually having to try and support myself with my art. And so that's what I've been doing. So far, I'm still alive, and the lights are still on. And so, yeah, it is true. I am a fairly frugal person, but I can say this. I smoke, and if I didn't smoke, I probably would have more money than I do because cigarettes are expensive. So, and yes, everybody, before you say it, I know I shouldn't. I am aware I should not smoke. But okay, I am liking the way that this is turning out. Yeah, the hungry and poor artist is true in my case. And yeah, but yeah, I don't have a mortgage or car payment or any of those big bills. And I actually thought that I was going to go back to work. I mean, this kind of all happened in 2009, and I thought that I would just go back to work. Well, the problem with that is that I hate to say it, but ageism is alive and well in the United States of America. And so in order to, I mean, if I'm going to give my art, because I mean, if I have to go back to earning, if I have to go back to an outside job, I want it to be one where I actually earn a living, and not just pay the bills. And in order for that to happen, uh, I would have to go back to real estate law, basically, and and that would be great, except that I cost a lot of money. I mean, I cost an employer a lot of money because I'm good at what I do, and the alternative would be to go get a different kind of job. And I just don't know what that would be. I mean, so far I've never run into a job that I can't do, or that I wouldn't be able to learn. But there are people with young families to take care of and things like that need the jobs more than I do, which is why I don't go take one of those from them. And the only really other alternative would be to go be a greeter at Walmart, but I think those are volunteer jobs. Yeah, Susie, I'm familiar with the making the choice thing. I really am. It goes back to that whole light bulb issue. Do I buy the light bulb for $18, or do I buy the milk and sugar and coffee and a couple of loaves of bread and so that I'm not, and the veggies, so that I'm not eating junk. Eating well is actually really important, especially as we get older. And it's not. I was talking to a lady in the line, actually at Walmart the other day, and isn't it a crime that it costs us more to eat well than it does to eat crap? Sorry, junk. Junk food is cheap. Food that's healthy is expensive. Although, although it really shouldn't be. If you buy like at Walmart, they have bags of frozen vegetables and stuff like that for 88 cents, and you just throw them in the microwave, and and they're just frozen vegetables, and freezing actually preserves the nutrients, not takes them away. So there really isn't any excuse for not eating well on a budget. And that's what I do. When I go to Walmart, I'll buy, a bag of broccoli, a bag of Brussels sprouts, because now that I'm older and know how to cook them properly, and am no longer subject to eating my grandmother's terrible, mushy, horrible Brussels sprouts, uh, or icky canned green beans, uh, and I can eat the ones that come frozen. Uh, and I usually will take of a Sunday, and I'll take and put in my crock pot a can of whole tomatoes, because the ones that are in a can are actually the ones that were allowed to get ripe but weren't pretty. And so those are the ones that they send to the cannery. Uh, so I'll put a big can of those, and uh, I'll brown off some ground beef and put a couple of cans of kidney beans and black beans and or navy beans or whatever, and saute up some real onion and throw in some veggies and just let it cook all day and have a wonderful chili that's healthy. Oh, that's great. That's thanks, Susie, and that's a good price too. I don't know how much a kilogram is, but I'm going to guess it's it's the usual measurement of that. Everybody else that isn't American knows how much it is. Here it would be a pound. As the rest of the world is on the metric system, and we stubbornly hold out. Oh, The other thing that I treated myself to four things, I guess. The other one was a full tank of gas in my car. So I'm set for the next year. I go through 1 tank of gas a year. I am the only person driving my car was brand new in 2008. And it was the last thing I bought before I retired. And I paid cash for it. And it is 10 years old this year and has less than 9,500 miles on it. And yes, I said 9,500 miles on it, less than 10,000 miles. I had it in a dealership. You know, if you've watched my videos, that was one of the places that I started. Was I had this horrible ordeal where they were threatening to tow my car because it wasn't registered, and so I had to get that all taken care of. And when I took it into the dealership, the guy said, "You cannot be serious with this, you know, with this mileage." And I said, "Yeah." I said, it just sits there. They shouted across the garage to the other guy, "Hey, so and so, look, it's got less than 10,000 miles on it." And the last big trip that I took was to see my family, and that was in 2008. And I went up to Boston, or to Massachusetts anyway. And then it's made that trip, 2 trips to DC. And other than that, just around town. Is everybody asleep now? No, we still got 16. Oh man, we go through 1 tank a week, and we drive. Well, yeah, I mean, but your husband goes off to work, yeah, May, doesn't he? And you have errands to run. You've got kids and dogs and a house to run and all of that. I go to the store every other day, but it is the grocery store, or we call them 7-Elevens here in America. I don't know what the convenience store is where some of you live, but here it's 7-Eleven. And but I walk because that's how I get my exercise. So the only time I ever use the car is if I go to the grocery store, and I only do that at 3 o'clock in the morning. So there's not anything else out there. Are you still buffering? Or was it temporary? It looks fine from here. Okay, so it's okay there. Good on your end. No buffering. Okay. Hi, Helly. I'm sorry I missed you. Hi, Deb C. Okay. Good. I guess I should be paying attention a little bit more to the chat. Okay, so everything is still okay. Good. Good. Okay. Uh, just like I feel like I'm just sort of rambling, and I've been on another hour and 41 minutes. All right, I'm going to stop at 2 hours, I promise, and then I'll go eat. Ooh, food would sound good. Have that steak I got to cook, but that's just a matter of throwing it under the broiler. And I have a sweet potato. Ooh. I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are my favorite. Of course, I eat them all year. Oh, that we were talking about healthy food. Boy, I'll tell you what, you don't get much more healthy than a sweet potato. Pound for pound, it's one of the healthiest things that you could ever eat. And squash. Oh, I love squash. It's my favorite thing about the fall. You can get all kinds of squash. And with global trade, we can get all kinds of things all year, all throughout the year. So it's just, it costs a lot to get a squash in the summertime. And I have tangerines. Ooh, love tangerines too. Okay. Oops, one more. Sweet potato, never had it. Really? Really, Susie? What, do they just not, I guess they don't have them in your home country? We only have the big green one looking like cucumber. Oh, that, okay. Yeah, well, I imagine that the winter climes, or I don't know that you guys have a long enough growing season to have squash be anything that you could grow in Norway. Um, you know, because I imagine you've got a fairly short growing season in Norway. That's interesting that you only got sweet potatoes a year back. Butternut squash is my favorite too, Elizabeth. Absolutely. I buy a butternut squash and I cut off, uh, you know, cut it in half, scoop out the pieces, and then I put just enough water in it to where I know that it'll just cover it, and then I put it on the stove and use an immersion blender. Hang on. Whoa. Okay, there. And use an Ah. Hang on, guys. 1 second. I got to get water. Okay. That's better. All right. So butternut squash. And I cook it until it's soft. And then I use an immersion blender and some heavy cream. And put grind fresh nutmeg and add spices in, and it's soup. Ooh, that sounds good too. Absolutely. Well, yeah, butternut squash in okay, chat keeps disappearing on me. There it is. Let me just take a second here and relax my vocal cords for a sec. I'll just color. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a little bit better. All of a sudden, I had a sinus attack. Oh, that always causes me to cough. That's just an excuse. I just smoke. What can I say? I smoke and I cough. I got 2 Christmas cards today. Oh, actually, I got 2 Christmas cards. I've got one from Anne, sweet Anne, and from my friend Karen Johnson. And that was really sweet. Thank you. Those are the first Christmas cards I've received in quite a few years, and that was very nice. And let's see here. And of course, I've just been overrun with blessings this year. It's been wonderful. All of you guys discovering the coloring community has really been I mean, I like I say that, you know, I knew and have been a part of the Facebook coloring community, but the one here on YouTube it's just been so welcoming. So welcoming. You guys have really made my year. Let's see. I do keep just getting too far. Keep forgetting where the... Yeah, I am liking the way that this is looking. And of course, I'll post this to Instagram, and hopefully somebody who is not already here will see my work and go, ooh, I want that. Or alternatively, I'll see a tag and share it, and another artist will get a sale. I do that all the time on Facebook. I share other artists that I discover, and that's how I learned about Rob Roscoe. It's how I originally learned about Marty Woods, who I love Marty Woods. He's just such a sweet man and good dad. Great artist. And Jason Hamilton, who is the author of Cats and Quilts and Beautiful Women of the World and Mermaid Fantasy and Cats and Kittens and Yarn. Or Cats and Kittens, I guess that's the name of that one. There's one more. Oh, Fairy Fantasy. That's it. Oh, and his new book, The Art of Mandalas. That's it. Which I think Anne at A Colorful Life just did a recent flip through of. Thank you, Ollie. I appreciate that. You know, Elizabeth, it is. I know what you mean about lurking. I did too for a little while, especially if it was a stream that was being done by somebody that I didn't know already. But then slowly but surely, I started to see people that I recognized, and it made it a lot easier. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Exactly. It is. It is a. It is very much. It's a. It's a melon. Uh, it is like a pumpkin because a pumpkin is a squash too, but but they're They're shaped like a gourd, where they have a bowl, you know, a big fat part, and then a kind of a longer neck. Oops, sorry. Guess I could draw one. Hang on. See what my impromptu drawing skills are like, huh? Here's a. I messed up the. Whoops. Sorry. This is me being bad. Oh, you don't want to see that. That really will screw up the camera. Okay, so they're well, it's not really like that. Hang on, this is more pinched in here. See, I'm not. I'd actually have to see a picture of one to draw it, but they're like this, and then they and they've got they're yellow or orangey yellow, orange yellow, but they look a little like that. And then when you cut them in the middle, it's like in the center. There's this like all squash. There's a seed. You know, the center is full of seeds. But you can eat all of the neck, and you got to take the skin off a butternut, though. You don't want to eat the skin of a butternut. Not a pumpkin. I was trying a butternut squash. Oh, man. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. Oh, man. Oh my God. Oh, but don't worry, I won't. Now, come on, guys. That does not look like one that I've ever seen. Come on. Excuse me, but I had to do that. That's what you get for making me laugh that hard. You have to listen to me blow my nose. Oh. Oh, Susie. That's funny. You're talking about you. Oh my God, you guys are gonna kill me. Oh, no more freehand, please. I can't take it. Oh. Oh yeah, well, you know, that was just it. I have no idea. I can draw precision, but I can't draw freehand. off the cuff like that. I knew I was making a mistake. Oh, yes, I really did draw all these things, you guys. But no, I didn't have a visual in my head of what it looked like. And if I don't have a visual in my head, I can't draw a thing. Uh, wow. Woo. Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, see if I can actually recover there. I'm just for that, I'm going to draw a perfect butternut squash when we're done here. I'm going to look one up, so I've got a photo reference, and then I'm going to draw one. My memory of what they look like is obviously not very good. May, you are forgiven. Hey, fair play to you. I handed it to you and you ran with it. I get it. Oh gosh. I can, like I say, I got I've got a fairly thick skin. I can take it. Oh God. Plus I plus I agree. That's gonna look terrible. Oh, oh, geez. I do love to laugh. Oh, yeah. And then all of the comments that were coming in afterward. Oh, oh, oh. See, this happens. You start to see things everywhere. Okay, see if I can breathe now. Breathe, Christine. Just breathe. Yes. Okay. All right. I only have these 1, 2, 3 to go, and then we're going to stop. And I'm going to go away and come back on Christmas. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah. I think that might be the easiest reach without pushing my pencils off the table. Oh, that is just hilarious. Oh, thank you, May. I needed a good laugh. I guess maybe I should patting myself on the back. If I hadn't drawn crap, you wouldn't have had the raw material to work with. Like I say, off the cuff drawing is not my thing. I'm going to pin that drawing to my wall. I'm going to laugh every time I look at it. It's good to laugh. Goodness gracious. Maybe I can see how I've stopped crying from laughing too hard. Pickle on it and we'll make it sparkly, yeah. Oh, oh gosh, Pickle, did you walk in the middle of that? You have to roll back in the video. I won't. I should. No, I guess I can't. I can't. It's a live stream. I can't even edit it out. Oh boy. Okay. Well, it'll be there for the ages then. I got to tell you guys, this is the most social that I've been in. I don't know how long. For the longest time. I mean, other than I do occasionally. My next door neighbor, is is just she's really been a blessing in disguise over the years. But we are very she's very temperamental, and God love her. Apparently, I am not in her good graces right now. So, and I never know. I never know what it is that I've done or haven't done. But I do know that if I wait it out long enough, we'll be friends again. So, I guess what I'm saying is that, but other than her, this is the longest I've been socially engaged at one stretch of time in a long time. Oh, thank goodness. My sinuses finally opened back up. Oh, I can breathe. Oh, that's so good. Does do any of you know about how that feels, when when you're stuffed up and all of a sudden you can breathe? All right. Oh wow, we're up to 20 people. We're getting people instead of losing people. Hello, welcome everybody who has come in. If I have not said hi to you, it is merely because I did not see you and I don't know you're here. So say hi if you want to, or lurk if you don't. Either way is fine. You're welcome to be here. Okay. Although, I do think, excuse me, that my stomach is getting growlier by the second. So Okay, and we'll go with that. All right, in that case then, it is now, we are just a shade over 2 hours and 11 minutes. And it was my lovely drawing that attracted new people. Oh, that is so funny, May. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, that is just hilarious. All right, I'm going to back out where I can see y'all. Hang on just a second so that I can get you back out here so I can see everybody. You didn't know that I could see it, did you? I'm looking at you. All right. Pickle is a very spoiled girl. When that was, it was a very spoiled. Oh my God, I am gonna read back the. I'm gonna read back the chat on this and just be absolutely tickled every time I do. Loretta, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they do eventually get done. Look, we got our stars and our pickle. We've been adding sparkles just for you. While you weren't watching, I've been adding sparkles. There are lots of sparkles here. I will never look at a squash. Well, May did say that, the only squash type veggies that they have there in Norway are the cucumbers. So, what does that tell you about May's experience with squash? At any rate, thank you, everybody, and thank you for your kind words and for being here and all. I am literally at a point where I am ravenous, which means that I will probably eat, like cheese and crackers before the steak. But this is where I am. I think I'm probably going to finish this one and be starting something new the next time. So look for this in the finished roll on Instagram and on Facebook. And in the meantime, I do want to say once again, thank you all, everybody, for all the wishes and best wishes that you've had for Kenny. And like I said, she knows. She's told me that she knows that that you've all cared enough to comment on the videos, and she'll get back to each one of you. Thank you for supporting me today and for being here. And to all of you, each and every one, from me personally, a warm and heartfelt Merry Christmas and happy type thing. Like I say, I will be broadcasting Christmas for at least part of the day. It looks like it'll be around 1 p.m. Eastern time, which will be around 5 p.m. 1 plus 5, 6 on Christmas evening in Greenwich Mean Time, 7 Christmas night in Oslo time. Let's see how many others I know. It'll be probably still morning if you are in other parts of the United States. But thank you all for everything. And let's see, there will also be, I'll be doing a Christmas Day giveaway I don't know exactly what it will be yet. It'll obviously be my books. But until then, don't forget that everything in my Etsy shop is, in fact, still 20% off. All the books, and I think I even included the tote bags and the uh, pouches in the year-end sale. So all of that is still in the store. And thank you, everybody. Sleep well, peaceful dreams, color something pretty. Thanks. Oh, hang on, I'm adding one more thing because it says I can. Thank you to my mods. Thank you very much for being here and for agreeing to be moderators. Thanks. Okay, now I really am ending the stream.